This week, we take you to Petite Carême, located in Jacoma Drive, Mount Irvin. Now, guests who vacation here can pass through the back gate and play a game of golf or even take a dip at the beach. This as the property is in close proximity to the Mount Irvin Golf Course. Here's a look at what's to come in the next half hour. I'm Davia Chambers, and Let's Talk Tobago starts now. Details on Tobago's Autonomy Convention, TEMA's measures to reduce disasters, and later we take you to the Reach Exposition. These stories and more when Let's Talk Tobago continues.
As a trained tour guide, I was able to travel the world, educate my children, purchase a new vehicle, teach my children about the natural history of Tobago, and it's there I realized that there's no place like home sweet home. I'm a trained tour guide. My name is Kathy Ann Grant, and tourism is all our thing.
Petite Carême is one of many villas tucked away on the Villas on the Greens. It's the largest villa of the 5 as it's located on a slope, resulting in it holding more people than the others. This property is spacious enough for you to host a small wedding or event. Now, our lead story this week has details on a consultation that has led to the creation of a draft bill for Tobago's autonomy.
We have the composition, example, the Senate, we have 33. The composition with the community organizations, we have 11, and we have 4 abstentions.
That's the amount of people that voted on the proposed form of governance for Tobago once self-government has been granted for the island. Tobagonians had their final say on several key issues in the draft bill for Tobago's autonomy at a special convention hosted at the Lowlands Multipurpose Center.
I think that for clarity's sake, that what we have put down here in words should be spelled out in terms of having maps which will show clearly what the delineations are.
My respectful view to the forum was that you do something that you come up with a clause that you think might be able to open and invite the discussion and invite the debate, because you know there will be debate, there will be input, and they could never have the final product if you're going to get further views and debate. So it's to put something that is sufficiently plausible, something that is going to convey what you want to achieve, and then get the process moving forward.
The public was also in favor of adopting a second house, with members selected by the winning party.
I made the point that you will never have unanimity. What we're trying to get is consensus, because I'm telling you, and I repeat what I've just said, the decisions made here today reflect the majority views coming out of those consultations and the submissions.
The draft bill will now be discussed at the House of Assembly before it is sent to Cabinet for the next few weeks. I'm Keishon Wilson for Let's Talk Tobago.
This property was originally owned by Merrily and Royal Barrow. They kept Petite Carême as their Tobago retreat for 17 years, but then decided to sell it early in 2016 to a local. Now, the Department of Natural Resources and the Environment hosted a hunting consultation recently which focused on wildlife hunting and farming. Omadara Mills has more.
According to the Department of Natural Resources and the Environment, there are over 100 wildlife farms on the island, but the current laws do not comprehensively address wildlife farming, which has brought about some unique challenges.
If you have a protected animal, we can give you a permit for a protected animal. If you have an animal in you register with us as a wildlife farmer, that is basically a spirit of the law. It's not really a rule of law, it's a spirit of the law. But for a person just to say he's a wildlife farmer, like for instance, if he's a farmer in Trinidad and Tobago or a fisherman in Trinidad and Tobago, that's an incentive from the government. Wildlife farmers don't have that, although they play a critical role in terms of balance with our natural resources.
It's a situation that the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries is seeking to change, starting with consultation among THO officials, hunters and wildlife farmers. Now the new laws will help to regulate the commercial wildlife farming industry and standardize the operations of farms or parks that are part of the growing wildlife farming tourism sector.
There's a particular person lives at Bloody Bay. She put out bird feeders and she what we call a hummingbird nest. A lot of persons go there, take pictures of hummingbirds and so forth. So basically wildlife farming is a big part of it. We have farms where tourists love to go and see the natural and beauty of our island compared to the rest of the Caribbean, which is lacking in that department. We have it there, and the wildlife farmer provide that basic industry that is lacking in that need. So they're bridging a gap for us.
Policymakers are also planning to remove certain animals, such as bats and manicous, from the third schedule, which is the vermin or pest list. They'll be placed under the protected animals or game animals lists.
After numerous research from the University of West Indies and other industry or tertiary education, it has shown that certain things that we call pests are keystone animals in our environment in terms of maintaining equilibrium. Manico is a delicacy for many. It's also animals hunted by many, so basically it can be moved. The bat in particular is critical for plants in Tobago. What they do, they provide spreading the seed, dispersal of seed.
Following the first consultation, the Department of Natural Resources and the Environment plans to hold quarterly meetings with wildlife stakeholders in an effort to update them on the changes to the wildlife laws. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Petit Carême was constructed 18 years ago, and the previous owners wanted to pass it on to someone they know would care for it as much as they did. The villas on this property were sold to different private owners as the previous owners were a bit down in age. Now listen to this. The Tobago Division of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service launched a new initiative aimed at taking illegal firearms off the streets. Here are the highlights in this report.
This is how Tobago observed the International Day of Non-Violence. The walk also marked the start of yoga. That's youths opposed to guns and ammunition. It's an initiative of the Tobago Division of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service that's encouraging young people to be proactive about keeping their communities free of violence and illegal firearms.
We march today to restore that paradise of Tobago. We want to say no to guns. Anyone have information on illegal firearms in the community? Call 800-TIPS, call 555, call the police. Just call. If you know something, say something. Do something. Let's keep our community safe for our young people.
Within the past 9 months, 10 guns have been recovered in the Tobago Division, with assistance from the community. Yoga outreach activities are already bearing fruit, resulting in the latest firearm seizure. The island's police officers are hoping that the walk from Roxborough to Argyle will help to foster better relations between the police and residents.
We want to ensure that Tobago is gun-free, and you are the ones to help us do that. We are a team together, and together, each of us we can achieve more. So we depend on you. The police cannot do it alone. We depend on you. So we are partnering with you this afternoon to ensure that Tobago remain clean, green, and serene.
The yoga program will also educate young people about the dangers of guns and ammunition and help them identify firearm-related offenses. Police Youth Club members are positive that the initiative will have an impact.
Young people, I like how they turn out, and we're hoping that they learn from whatever was said and done today, and that we could get rid of all the guns and violence in this country. Well, hoping with the adults and the police back to back, I hope that it will work out.
Well, if you look around me, you will surely agree with me that the young people are with the program. And as long as you have the young people and with the program and their parents with the program, I think our chances for success are great.
Several Police Youth Club members from Charlottesville, Roxborough, Mason Hall, Goodwood and Mount St. George participated in this march. Another walk will take place in the west of the island at a later date and will feature several NGOs and community-based organizations.
No more guns! No more blood! No more guns! No more blood! No more guns!
I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Up next, TEMA shares their plan to reduce disasters. Stay with us. Let's Talk Tobago will be right back.
I was introduced to the marine environment by my biology teacher when I was 14 years old, and I decided to make it my passion. So I've been diving for almost 32 years. I decided, listen, this is the job for me. I also find great joy in introducing the kids to that environment because that's our future. I am Alvin Douglas. I'm a dive shop operator at the Tobago Beach facility, and tourism is all awaiting.
They say it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters the most. And in the face of disaster, chaos, and panic, it is the Tobago Emergency Management Agency's comprehensive emergency response plans that will matter most to Tobago. This agency's modernized approach to emergency management is driven by technology, powered by networking, focused on community resilience, open to partnering, enhanced through training, and led by a highly competent and dedicated staff. This has positioned them as one of the premier disaster management agencies in the region and earned them Trinidad and Tobago Diamond Standard certification. Congrats, TEMA, Tobago Emergency Management Agency.
Welcome back. You're viewing Let's Talk Tobago. Now, guests who vacation at Petit Carême say it feels just like home. The peacefulness, spaciousness, and friendly staff are elements that keep guests coming back to the property. Your children can play safely in the gardens while you have a cup of coffee on the large veranda while still keeping an eye on them. Now, with all the heavy rains and disasters in other countries, TEMA focused on a way to reduce disasters on the island. Here's what they had to say about their measures.
Live to tell. That's the theme of the International Day of Disaster Risk Reduction 2016. And the Tobago Emergency Management Agency, or TEMA, is celebrating its work to reduce Tobagonians' exposure to disasters. TEMA is also raising awareness about why risk reduction is important.
It's important, apart from informing people, if persons are affected, the ability to respond is key. One of the things that we in Tobago share with the rest of the world is that we have an emergency response system that is unique. Our emergency response system today can be considered the new phase of emergency management in the community. We have a professional arm through the efforts of the Tobago House of Assembly, whereby our community emergency response teams are professionals. They are paid to provide that service 24/7.
Mr. Stewart says through TEMA's early warning systems, timely and meaningful information is always disseminated before any possible disaster.
We have improved our communication assets whereby we now are able to keep our population abreast with some of the risks or exposures through our Virtual Vision app.
The decentralization of services by TEMA has also played a part in Tobago's disaster preparedness.
Across Tobago, we have about 11 locations that we have decentralized emergency supplies to these communities. They are embedded in the community. It means, therefore, that if something were to happen, we have an immediate response.
That's not all. TEMA has plans for this fiscal year to install 2 additional early warning systems, one in Buku and the other in Roxborough. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Petit Carême reflects an old world charm that has a contemporary feel with all the modern conveniences you can think of. And speaking of conveniences, the Tobago division of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service continues its town meeting series. These meetings are geared at addressing the challenges residents face with policing in their area. This week, they take us to Lambo. Here are the details.
The series of town meetings being hosted across the country by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service are meant to help police better understand and address challenges residents experience in their communities. They're also identifying gaps in service to the public. Residents used the opportunity to call for better policing and communication, and one person complained about Tobago's lack of emergency contacts.
Tobago does not have any emergency numbers. We have landline numbers to contact police stations, which is highly ridiculous when an emergency takes place.
The island's top cop says a request has been made to return to the 999 hotline. He says, however, that there have been technical challenges with that system.
So it's something that we have been raising at all levels, all the time, but it's not something that we can do because we don't have the technical expertise to change it back to Tobago or whatsoever they have to do. So that the situation remains up to today. And we'll raise it again, I know the Deputy Commissioner is here, and to see whether or not that can happen. But it's a situation that we have been grappling with, and it seems never ending. It has been going on from year to year to year to year.
Parenting is also a common topic at these town meetings, and it's an issue again raised by Lambo's Norvell Moore.
I believe that the main problem that this thing causing is parenting. Now, the police are the part to do. Where are their parents? The main problem in Lambo is that the parents want to be friends with the children, and the children want to be friends with their parents, instead of being a parent and handling the stories as a family. It's a set of youths. All of them father is in their 30s and 40s, young people. Now, you ain't guide them home. They do what they have to do. And then you want to come and blame the police.
The monthly town meetings are part of a police strategy to connect with residents in their communities and to ensure they're being properly served. I'm Kern De Freitas for Let's Talk Tobago.
Now, management offers you a package like no other. If you have a small family, you can rent out the entire downstairs for half the price of the villa with its spacious kitchen, washing amenities and large bedrooms. We switch gears now to divert your attention to this worthy cause. The Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society hosted a Cancer Awareness EduFest event to build awareness as well as teach students and the general public about the dangers of this disease. Here's this report.
120 pupils from 4 primary schools attended this year's Cancer Awareness EduFest. It's the first time that the Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society invited these youngsters to learn about the different types of cancers and engage them in fun activities. The theme for this year's EduFest is A Healthy Me. It encourages young people to look after their overall health.
We wanted to bring something different to EduFest this year, where it's not just focused particularly on cancer, but about helping students to understand how leading a healthy lifestyle can actually prevent cancer and other non-communicable diseases like diabetes and heart problems.
Over 160 students from 7 secondary schools participated in the second day of the exhibition. Many of them enjoyed the interactive sessions and the information provided on the various cancers.
The one with the drugs and everything that stood out for me, with the lungs, that really stood out for me because I know a lot of people that smoke, my friends and things, and I feel they should be here to learn about it.
Cancer is like a secret disease because you wouldn't really know if you have it unless you decide to check yourself, and especially for young ladies, they should check themselves to see if they have breast cancer because they could do your self-evaluation at home.
This is the 5th year that the Cancer Society has hosted the event, and the organization hopes to continue.
So they now can go back to their schools and their students and their parents and their friends and share that information with them, talk to them about early detection, talk to them about the importance of screening, about the importance of eating a healthy diet and staying away from smoking, all of these things. So every student here today is very special to us because they're now part of our TTCS team.
The Cancer Society also held free cancer screenings and their annual Walk for Life campaign as part of this year's Cancer Awareness Month on the island. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Coming up, Reach Exposition 2016. Let's Talk Tobago will be right back. Stay with us.
Going to Barbados? Why continue to pay high prices when you can get there for only US $231.95, all taxes included? Yes, you heard right. You can now travel to Barbados from Tobago for a mere US $231.95 on Gold's weekly service. So if you're going to Barbados for business, the beach, crop over, or attending university, stop wasting your money on those other high-priced airlines and get there for a fraction of the cost. To book, just log on to www.vogel.com.br. Barbados just got closer.
Welcome back. We're exploring Petite Carême. Now this 3-story building has a 3-bedroom villa and a 1-bedroom apartment, which enables it to accommodate a maximum of 13 people comfortably. The main villa sleeps 9 people, while the apartment sleeps 4, and they can be rented either separately or together. The Division of Health and Social Services hosted its Reach exposition, which enabled entrepreneurs to show off the skills they learned at workshops. Here's more.
After participating in a realization of economic achievement Reach unit workshop, several entrepreneurs had the chance to practice the strategies they learned. The Reach exposition provided an opportunity for Tobagonians to see the creativity of some of the island's small business owners, from food production to sweets, condiments, and craft work.
We are in the business of funding entrepreneurs at varying levels of entrepreneurship, whether they're beginners or intermediary. Apart from just funding, we also train the individuals in varying aspects of business. We thought it would be a good idea to give the clients an opportunity to put into practice what they would have learned from those training programs. The first one we ran was a series in costing and pricing, and the second we ran was a series in marketing. So we thought it would be best to see how they put this information into use.
The Expo gave patrons a look at some of the quality goods made right here in Tobago, such as handmade craft and jewelry. The participants are also proud to showcase their products.
This Expo, it's beneficial in one way, in the fact that Tobagonians will see the kind of handmade local craft on the market in Tobago, you know? So it's just for more people to come in.
Another entrepreneur says thanks to the Reach program, she now has customers seeking to find her, even at home.
My business began in 2010, and from there it started Expo because of the Reach program and the BDU. It benefits me a lot because from there people get to know the product, and from there where I'm home they call me Auntie Met, you have Moby, you have bay leaf. Yes, and people find me because I'm on the eastern end in Roxborough, so they find me.
The Reach unit provides grant funding to establish micro-business enterprises, and since its inception has assisted over 400 entrepreneurs. I'm Marlon Gutselben for Let's Talk Tobago.
This property is the ideal place for you to vacation, as it's safe and peaceful. Families can have their get-togethers here and have a big cook-up, as management provides you with a barbecue pit and a tower to make roti. Now, apart from the jacuzzi at the villa, there's a large pool for the adults and a kiddies pool for the children. So before you embark on your dream vacation, you must first ensure that your finances are in order. This story has details on the final workshop for the Finance Fitness program hosted by the Division of Finance and Enterprise Development. Here's this story.
You work and try to balance your budget as you pay your bills and support your family. You're probably also preparing for the future and thinking about how to make your money work for you. That's what Tobagonians learned in the recent Finance Fitness program, a series of workshops aimed at guiding participants to a better understanding of their financial options and how to create wealth.
We are concerned about Tobagonians and wealth creation. We are concerned that we need to engage a lot more Tobagonians in the habit of saving and increasing the habit of saving and investment. We want to get persons involved in entrepreneurship. We want to get persons in the habit of moving away from some of the traditional avenues of investment and savings.
The program covered a range of topics, including saving and investment, and one participant says she's learned a lot.
So I've been here for all 4 sessions, and I found all of them to be excellent. So we would have started off with budgeting and the need to budget, and the resource persons would have led us through the discussion and budgeting in spite and in the face of recession. From budgeting, the next session we would have gone into investing and the need to invest into our future. The third session dealt with land ownership, home ownership.
People of all ages and walks of life can benefit from financial planning and management, and Tobagonians are being encouraged to be more proactive with their money.
It's not how much you earn, but how much you save and invest from what you earn. I encourage us to manage it well. If we manage our finances well, proper management, it will relieve us of stress. And I'm encouraging us to treat our financial matters as important and don't wait for them to become urgent.
The workshops were hosted by the Financial Literacy Unit of the THA's Division of Finance and Enterprise Development in collaboration with the Unit Trust Corporation. I'm Kern De Freitas for Let's Talk Tobago.
It's time for Have Your Say. Our question this week is, why is clean, green, safe and serene important? While you think about it, let's take a look at who had their say this week.
Hygiene and our sanitation must be of 100%. That when our tourists come on the island, they can go back and say, well, yes, Tobago is really, really beautiful.
If we don't keep the place clean, it will cause like floods and other situations pertaining to the land.
Clean, green, safe and serene is important to preserve the environment.
The greenness is a beauty to the whole environment, because I love outdoors environment, so I like how they're cutting down the trees.
People would have a healthier and much safer environment to live in.
The beautification and the health of everybody.
Tourists and other people from other countries is becoming to know our quality and our taste and our fashion and our design. So it is very important that we have our clean, safe and serene in order to be popular in other countries.
We close another edition of Let's Talk Tobago, and as always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. From our house to yours, I'm Davia Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and very productive week. We close now with a montage of the regional dance classic. We do hope you enjoy.